This is Matthew McConaughey.
Natalie Portman.
James Patterson.
Michael Ian Black.
And you are listening to
Five Questions
with Dan Schawbel.
Ashanti, welcome to Five Questions.
Thank you.
Well, it's so happy to have you here. How did your parents, who are also entertainers, inspire you to be one yourself?
My parents have always instilled genuine love in me and have always taught me to be brave and be strong and be confident. And when you come from a family of love, all of that helps.
And that confidence you capture in your new book, which is a children's book named My Name is a Story. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
How do you relate to the girl in the book?
In so many ways. Just growing up, having a very unique name, obviously going far back to grade school, being in first grade and sitting in that little circle and having a teacher call everyone's name. And when she gets to mine, it's a little pause, it's a little hesitant, and the girl next to me is like, oh, why does your name sound like that? And why isn't your name like Beth, So I definitely have those stories, and I felt like this was really important, really a good message to get out there to empower kids and uplift kids that have unique names, to just embrace it and love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, embrace your differences, because that really is what makes you stand out. It's like Oprah, like I don't know any other Oprah. Ashanti, like I don't know any other Ashanti. So it actually makes you stand out, and it's extremely valuable, especially in your industry as well. And there's so many entertainers, but there's only one Ashanti.
Hey, I love that.
So speaking of empowering messages, what are some of the most empowering messages that you want to convey to children who read the book?
I would say, again, to just embrace your uniqueness, be proud of it, be brave enough to correct someone when they mispronounce your name, and this is for the other kids as well that may not have a unique name. Be more open-minded to kids that do have unique names. Maybe don't tease them or don't feel like, oh, because it's unfamiliar and you haven't heard it, that it's something that you may not like. Be a little bit more open-minded and welcoming. You know what I mean? I think that's really, really important.
And I could even imagine parents take something from this. It's not like some parents, it doesn't matter how old you are, what generation you're part of, like you might have a unique name or something unique about you. And so I'm sure that this book can really talk to them as well.
Yeah, well, I actually did an exclusive signing with Essence last weekend at Essence Festival, and there were so many people on the line, and everyone's name was so unique. So when you're signing books and you're like, okay, what's your name? I had to ask for the spelling for almost everyone's name because everyone's name was just so unique. So it resonated with so many people. And these are adults, and everyone had a story about, yeah, because I remember when I was in, and this one didn't know my name. And, when I go for a job interview, so there were so many different stories. But the beautiful thing is that it resonated and people could identify. And then again, the book kind of just gives you that push and that motivation to be proud. And that's what I wanted to instill.
Yeah, ironically, I sent my friend a list of all the people I'm interviewing between now and November. And he's like, I know Ashanti. And I'm like, okay, yes, I should get him a copy of this book.
Very cool.
So you have a lot going on from what I've read. How have you been able to manage releasing the book, working on a documentary, launching a company, and other projects at the same time?
It's not easy. It's definitely not easy. I think I'm just really motivated. We've all lived through some tough times in these past few years, and I think that taught us that life is short and it's precious, and you have to kind of like think outside of the box, and you have to be creative, and you have to just go after it because you just never know what's going to happen, so.
And what's your best piece of career advice?
My best piece of advice, you said? My best piece of advice. I've gotten a lot of great advice. I would say always go after your dreams no matter what. You're going to get rejected. Don't let that deter you. Always be passionate about what it is that you're doing. Put your genuine self into it, because that's where you get the reward. You know what I mean? It's so important to love what you do and keep at it, and never let other people deter you or talk you out of what you want to do and what you want to accomplish, and it's not going to be easy every time, and when you do get knocked down, get up,
Yeah. And even you have had so much success with all of your, hit albums and everything. And it's still probably very difficult for you to even release this book and start the company and focus on the documentary, because there's nothing guaranteed. Yes, it's helpful that people have heard of your name before, speaking of your book, but that doesn't mean that everyone's gonna, see the movie and read the book and other things. You have to almost keep earning their trust.
It doesn't mean that everything you do is going to be successful. You can't be afraid to fail. You know what I mean? You can't, and one good piece of advice that has always resonated with me is failing to prepare is preparing to fail. You know what I mean? So you got to just keep going, keep at it, throw a bunch of stuff up against the wall, and understand that not everything is going to work out perfect. Some things may not work at all, but don't let that deter you or be scared of that. Don't be scared of that failure. Just get up, learn the lesson, and move.
I love that. Well, that's great advice. And thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.